What's up, traders? Welcome back to the Power Stock series. My name is Jay from swimtraining.com and thank you for watching today's video. Now, in today's video, we are going to discuss this company with the name Diamondback Energy because it exhibits one of the strongest movement in the past couple of weeks. Okay, so be sure to check it out and I will see you in today's video. See ya! Welcome back. Now on screen right here, you can see that this is Diamondback Energy. But before we go on much further with what we're going to do with this week's company, we're going to look at the Echo Lab ECL that is part of the Power Stock series pick of the week last week. All right. So for Diamondback Energy, you can see that it has done a small retracement to somewhere around 214. However, this has not hit to our target range of 207. So therefore, I would still advise caution if you were to swing this stock, wait for a more reasonable risk to reward, wait for a more reasonable price point. You can see that I'm still waiting for this 207 if for a longer type of swing for a better risk to reward. However, on the on the shorter term basis, right, if you were to use the AEP framework, the Art of Explosive Movement framework, this stock, if you have gotten in, it would have brought you about 2%, okay, per se, right? So if you are using the framework, be sure, now you're already in profit, be sure to shift up your stops and, to protect a little bit of a profit. If not, right, if you are still out, then watch for this price level and see how does it react with the low of post earnings, which is somewhere around $213. Eventually, I want to see any consolidation that revolves around this gap would show me whether the market participants would have truly accepted this new price as the norm for Echo Lab. All right, so on to this week's company, which is Diamondback Energy. Why is it selected? Well, what it does, right, is that it acquires, develops, explores, and exploits unconventional onshore oil and gas reserves. So what happened over here, right? The performance of the US stock market versus Diamondback Energy, you can see it has surpassed ever since February, ever since sometime in, around Valentine's Day, 12, 13, 14 February, right? It already surpassed the performance of the S&P 500. And if you were to look in comparison, S&P 500 is no shabby. If you're just looking at it as a standalone, right, you can see the performance of SPY has been crazy since late October last year. However, over on here, FANG, it has outperformed it due to some good catalysts and of course earnings. It did a surprise earnings, and right now I like it, I love it. In fact, it shows me that this is the high of post earnings and this is the low, or rather we have not found the low of the post earnings. So how explosive it actually is for Diamondback Energy in this last run up over here, it is like 22%, 20% roughly, somewhere there. So I am watching out, right, for this key level. Okay, I'm watching out for a pullback to this key level, which I'm going to annotate on screen right here. Previously, you can see that there was a resistance over here, and if you zoom out further, you can see that this area is of some form of contention, although it is still a distance away. So I am just going to plot it on screen right here. You can see that about 165, then all the way up to about 170. This price zone, right, was previously rejected, and then it took over close to a year or slightly more than a year to test this level again, and it got rejected. And finally now, because of positive catalyst, it broke above. So what are we going to do with this type of stocks and how are we going to trade it? Now, the rough plan, right, for Diamondback Energy is very simple. I'm watching out for this retracement, which after a very strong performance, a retracement is bound to come. The post earnings high is over here, which is at 184. So eventually this will become a target of mine should I want to go in with a swing trade. Then I'm also watching for some form of consolidation around 175 and then before dipping further. Most importantly is I would like to see a retest of this previous base, or rather this previous resistance. I want to see it becoming a support somewhere around $170. That would be great. So if it pulls back to somewhere around $170, I think the risk to reward, given that you can swing it up to 184 at the very bare minimum, I think the risk to reward will be tremendous. All right. So this is the type of stock that I'm waiting for the setup to happen. And given that the broad market this week is going into a sideways fashion, I do think that this pullback will become more of a possibility. So let's stay tuned. Put this counter onto your watch list, and then we see whether it comes to the price that we want. So I'm targeting around 170 for our entry, and then eventually 184 for the target profit. At least that can be the first area of defense. For initial stop loss, you can just put it somewhere below 165. I think that should be quite safe from there. All right. So this week's Power Stock series brings us to this Diamondback Energy counter, FANG. So hopefully, I hope you like it. And if you do, please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on this video. It will really mean a lot to me as a new content creator on YouTube. And I will appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.